Ready? All right, good evening, everyone. Today's Planning Commissioners regular meeting. Today's date, it's May 23rd, 2018. Can we all please rise so we could salute the flag? Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Can I get a roll call, please?
Chair Kevin Rooney. Vice Chair Mario Maciel Jr.
Here.
Commissioner Edwin Borges. Commissioner Edith Flores.
Present.
Commissioner Christopher Sines.
Present.
I would like to make a motion to excuse Kevin Rooney and Edwin Borges.
Second.
Any objections? Seeing none? Passes 3-0.
I make a motion to approve consent calendar at line 1.
Okay, I'll have to abstain from voting.
I second that.
Okay, any objections? Seeing none? Consent calendar approved, as is.
Approved 201. Public comment.
Oh. At this moment, I would take the opportunity to open up public communication. Anyone wishing to speak on any item other than the ones on our agenda, please feel free to come up to the stand, to the podium, and state your name, address, and your concern. Seeing no interest, I now close public communication. Staff, first item on the agenda.
Yes, I'd like to introduce planning technician Jonathan Marin for the first two items.
Hello. The case that I'm presenting before you is a request for consideration of a conditional use permit for an off-sale general type 21 ABC license in conjunction with a convenience store located at 4755 Main Avenue within the mixed-use 2 zone pursuant to table 153.070.020 in the city's municipal code. The location of the proposed convenience store is surrounded by commercial uses. There's a grocery store north of it, located north. And then there's a fast food restaurant located just east, and then to the west is a commercial retail center, shopping center, and directly south, just there's in the parcel there, is a furniture retail store. The property in question has a lot area of approximately 14,577 square feet and is improved with a 7,680 square foot multi-tenant commercial building, as you can see here. The building was formerly known as Olive Square Market, but it will be converted to a multiple commercial tenant complex. The proposed convenience store will be located in the western end of the building, furthest away from Main Avenue. The larger tenant on the east is proposed to be a full-service restaurant, but currently remains empty. A total of 90 square feet will be used for the sale of alcohol. The remainder of the store will be used for common convenience products. The applicant is requesting the Type 21 license and has provided escrow documents and a letter indicating their intent to transfer the Type 21 license from within the city boundaries. The acquisition of an existing license within the city boundaries was required pursuant to City Council Administrative Policy Number 28. The proposal meets all the requirements of the Administrative Policy Number 28, and the conditions of approval have been included pursuant to the requirements policies. In regards to the concentration of the census tract in which the license is proposed is over-concentrated. However, in addition to the findings required for the conditional use permit, staff has included additional findings for public convenience or necessity. For this particular project, findings for public convenience are made indicating that there will be no net increase of licenses citywide. Furthermore, the license is going to remain within the same census tract. Additional findings compare the census tract to adjacent ones and find that there is more commercial area versus residential population, which reduces the number of authorizations allowed. Surrounding census tracts have more population and are not over-concentrated. Conditions of approval have been added to improve safety, such as installation of video surveillance within the store as well as outside in the parking lot area. And the staff has reviewed the application and operational characteristics and has determined that the added conditions of approval, the proposed business will be convenient to the public and will not have an adverse impact to the adjacent properties or community. So therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 1809 entitled A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit for an off-sale general type 21 ABC license within the mixed use 2 zone.
Thank you, staff. Any questions from commissioners to staff?
I do have one question, kind of in general to all the applications. So I know that it's pretty common to see that they won't be devoting more than 3% of the floor area to the sale of beer and wine. But what safeguards do we have in place to ensure that this is actually happening? Or is this just a promise that they make, or is there...
It'll be incorporated into the resolution as a condition of approval. They're subject to those conditions of approval if there is a complaint, or if court enforcement happens to receive any kind of complaint, or if police department receives a lot of complaints and calls. We can definitely review the conditional use permit upon the Planning Commission's request in the future.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a process of revocation of CUP, so that you could revoke it if they continue to be to violate the conditions in the CUP.
Very well. I have a question, just out of curiosity. Is there a limit as to how many licenses can be issued within that consensus track?
The census tracts have authorized limits, and those are established by population and determined by Alcoholic Beverage Control, the state of California. So in this case, for this type of license for this particular project, there is an overconcentration. However, the city can make findings for public convenience or necessity. In this case, staff has made findings for public convenience. And by doing so, we can go ahead and approve the request.
I see. Thank you. I'll now open public communications to those wishing to speak on this particular item. Please step up to the podium, state your name and address, and your concerns.
Commissioners, also one thing to add is that staff did receive a letter for this item, mentioning this item and the next, because they're the same property, in opposition to the conditional use permits. And those letters were provided and are before you.
Thank you. Is it ready to read this? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to.
Do the 9 parking spots on the proposed location satisfy parking needs?
The existing building, it's existing. The subject site is non-conforming as a result of lack of parking. However, what we determined is that the uses that are proposed, or the conditional use permits that are being requested, are ancillary to uses that are actually permitted by right. So, for instance, the convenience store before you, that's already permitted by right. They can come in and get a business license and establish that type of store. So the answer to your question is there is insufficient parking because those are existing conditions. It's non-conforming.
Any other questions from staff? From commissioners to staff?
I have a comment. Actually, just to clarify, this property that's going to be relocated, it's on the same lot? Is that what it is? Or is in the same corner?
The property, well, the license that's being relocated belongs to Vance's Liquor, which is probably, 2 buildings away, correct me if I'm wrong. It's on a separate parcel, different property owner. They're relocating to this location here, so it's within the city's boundaries as well as the same census tract, so there really isn't an increase in concentration.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, public communications. Anyone wishing to speak on this item may do so at this time. Step up to the podium, state your name, address, and your concern. Seeing no interest, I now close public communications. Commissioners, any other questions? Can I get a motion?
Sure, I motion to pass.
I'll second it. Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 3-0. Next item.
And by coincidence, I should say that for the applications you have today, it has to be approved by 3 votes. So if one of you votes no, then it doesn't pass. That's the problem with only having 3 commissioners here. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Council. Next item.
This is the second address on the same location. The case before you is a request for consideration of conditional use permit for the on-site sale of general alcohol, type 47, license in conjunction with a full-service restaurant located within the mixed-use 2 zone pursuant to table 153.070.020 in the city's municipal code. The location is of the proposed full-service restaurant, again, is surrounded by commercial uses. A grocery store is located in the north. A fast food restaurant is located to the east, and then to the west is a commercial shopping center, and directly south is the furniture retail store. The property in question has a lot area of 14,577 square feet and is improved with a 7,680 square feet multi-tenant commercial building. The building was formerly known as Olive Square Market and will be converted to the multiple commercial tenants. The proposed full-service restaurant will be located on the eastern end of the building, to the closest to Main Avenue, and will be the largest tenant of the 3 tenants that are available there. The applicant is requesting approval for an on-sale general for a bona fide public eating place, type 47 alcohol license. In regards to the concentration, the census tract in which the license is proposed is not concentrated with on-sale licenses. The city's council's administrative policy number 28 encourages restaurants with alcohol service, and in this case there are 2 other on-sale type licenses within the subject census tract, while the allowance is for 5. The conditions of approval have been added to improve safety, such as installation of video surveillance within eating establishments, capturing footage of the indoors and towards immediate parking. Staff has reviewed the application and operational characteristics and has determined that the added conditions of approval, the business and patrons will benefit from the alcohol service. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 1812, entitled "A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact approving a conditional use permit allowing for the on-site sales of alcohol type 47 ABC license at a bona fide restaurant and bar in the MU2 zone pursuant to Table 153-070-020 in the city's municipal code." And this concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, staff. Any questions from the commissioners to staff? I have one particular question. This is the same applicant that we just approved on the previous item. Is the same license being used for two different addresses?
No. One is an on-sale type 47, the restaurant, which means they can only serve alcohol that is going to stay within the building. The other is off-sale, which means they're not allowed to consume alcohol in the building. They have to take it with them.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, do we know what type of restaurant it's going to be?
We haven't received any indication as far as the type of restaurant.
I have a question. Currently, there's 2 licenses around there in this type 47 on sale general. And I think the census tracts, they allow how many?
This one in particular allows 5 on-sale licenses, so it's under concentrated. The other 2 licenses, one of them is the Baldwin Park Pizza, and the other one is a Veterans Club.
Any other questions? No. At this moment, I would like to open up public communication for anyone wishing to speak on this agenda item. Please step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and state your concern. Seeing no interest, I now close public communications. At this moment, I'll accept the motion. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any objections? Seeing none, Resolution PC 1812 passes 3-0. Next item on the agenda.
Planning technician Elizabeth Florence will be presenting the next 2 items.
Honorable Chair, Commissioners, and members of the audience, the request before you is a request for consideration of a conditional use permit for a new service station and convenience store with an off-sale beer and wine type 20 ABC license within the Freeway Commercial Sierra Vista Overlay Zone pursuant to Table 153.050.020 of the city's municipal code. The location is 13853 Garvey Avenue. The applicant is 7-Eleven. And case number CP858. The applicant 7-Eleven is proposing to establish a service station and convenience store with off-sale beer and wine sales. The property is located at 13853 Garvey Avenue near the northwest section of Garvey Avenue and Feather Avenue intersection. The 36,274 square foot site is irregular in shape and is currently vacant. The applicant 7-Eleven plans to build the convenience store and service station on site. The 7-Eleven convenience store is requesting the type 20 ABC license, which allows the sale of beer and wine to be consumed off-site. The proposed convenience store consists of 2,940 square feet of building area, a service station canopy with 6 pump pedals, a total of 17 parking spaces, with landscaping per code requirements. The proposed use is compatible with the legal non-conforming residential homes to the north, LA Fitness and inline restaurants to the south, the legal non-conforming apartment complex to the east, and the commercial units to the west. The applicant submitted the request and justifications for public convenience findings for the Type 20 ABC license. The justifications include that an existing alcohol license will be transferred from within the city to establish this location so that there's no net increase of off-sale licenses within the city overall. The acquisition of the existing license is required by Administrative Policy Number 028 for newly proposed outlets of less than 10,000 square feet. The license in this case is being moved from a different business in a different census tract to this new business and location. The applicant's justifications have also added that the new location will enhance the local community by enhancing the appearance of the intersection and improving services offered to the immediate neighborhood. Even though the total number of off-sale licenses within the subject census tract will be increased from 3 to 4, there will be no overall net increase of the off-sale licenses citywide. Therefore, city staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 1808 entitled Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit to allow the operation of... Hold on one second. I made a typo. Okay, so a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit to establish a new service station and convenience store with off-sale beer and wine Type 20 ABC license within the FCSV overlay zone pursuant to Table 153.050.020 in the city's municipal code. Location 13853 Garvey Avenue, applicant 7-Eleven Incorporated, and case number CP 858. This concludes staff presentation.
Thank you. Questions from commissioners to staff?
Yeah, I do have a question. Does this project replace the project, the proposed 7-Eleven on Francisquito and Puente?
This project does not replace that one. This is an additional 7-Eleven with service station for this location.
That would bring the 5th 7-Eleven to our city?
I don't know how many there are total. There's quite a few, I believe.
And in this particular location, there's actually no building yet, right?
No, it's completely vacant.
Yeah.
It's no building at all.
Yeah, it's from scratch, yeah.
I found that kind of odd for us to be voting on approval of conditional use for it. There's no building yet. Anyhow.
And that's the one right across from the newly...
LA Fitness?
The LA Fitness and the inline tenants, the restaurant tenants, yes.
So how's that going to affect traffic there since there's already saturated?
That's a very good question. During the review process for this conditional use permit, staff had communication with the engineering division. It sounds like they will be working with the applicant to, from what I understand, they may be requiring a signal study for the intersection on Vineland at the off-ramp, I believe. But that's more of an engineering thing that would be taken care of during the plan check process. But otherwise, this is a permitted use with the conditional use permit.
Any other questions from commissioners? Okay, I'll now open public communications for those wishing to speak on this particular item. Please step forward, state your name and address and your concern, and you have 3 minutes. Can we get her mic to be turned on, please? Sorry, just a second, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. A lot better.
My name is Maria Guevara. I have been a resident of Baldwin Park for over 25 years. My address is 14212 Havenbrook Street. And I do support the new construction of a 7-Eleven. I pick up my kids and my grandchildren from the nearest high schools, Baldwin Park, and I do frequently stop at the 7-Elevens, and especially for snacks and Slurpees, of course. And I do live closer to Foster, which that would be more convenient for me as well. And I have witnessed where they have carded youngsters that seem too young to purchase any liquor. So I do feel that this will be a benefit for the people that are in that area as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before leaving the podium, would you please spell your first and last name for me?
Maria Guevara. Guevara. My address?
I'll have that.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Guevara.
Hello, my name is Norma Fernandez. I'm also a resident of Baldwin Park. My address is 14028 Rockenbach Street. I'm also in support of the 7-Eleven. My son attends Bishop Beaumont High School, and it would be convenient for me just to stop there, pick up snacks right before I drop them off at school or right after. I also agree with their liquor license because I've seen how responsible they are when it comes to somebody who looks young on them asking for identification.
Ma'am, would you please spell your first and last name for the record?
First name is Norma, last name is Fernandez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gladys Isaguirre. I've been a resident of Baldwin Park for 9 years now. My address is 4134 Walnut Street. And I am in favor of the 7-Eleven. I have a daughter that goes to Sierra Vista High School right now, and I think it's one of the safest establishments. All 7-Elevens have a wonderful surveillance system and lighting, and they're in sports, so I know that they can go there and buy whatever they're going to get, and I can just go pick them up there. And I don't think traffic is going to be a major problem, and regardless of how many establishments you put it, traffic is just bad all the time. Thank you.
Would you please spell your last name for the record?
Izaguirre.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jason Randolph. I'm a resident of Baldwin Park. I've lived here for over most of my life. My address is 14212 Havenbrook Street, Baldwin Park, California, 91706. I oppose of the 7-Eleven. It's a convenient way to shop. I pick up my kids and then I drive through that area, so it'd be convenient to stop there and get my little ones snacks and Slurpees and stuff like that. I oppose of it. I think it's a safe environment. As far as selling to minors or anything like that, because I go to 7-Eleven pretty a lot, so I see how they run things over there, and it is closer to my house as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Randolph. I live at 14212 Havenbrook Street, and I support the opening of a 7-Eleven, especially at that location because my son is a teenager and he does attend like LA Fitness, and it would be convenient for him, like if he was thirsty or something, I would feel comfortable with him going to 7-Eleven. I know there's like a lot of lighting and usually security. I know some offer security guards, so I would feel comfortable with him attending there, like if he needed to get a snack and I also would feel like I know that if they did have liquor there, I have been there several times and they have carded. I've seen young I don't know, young adults go in there and they do, even at my age, they even card me. So I do feel comfortable. I would rather have a 7-Eleven than have another liquor store or something there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sherry Olson. I'm here on behalf of 7-Eleven. And just wanted to let you know that we, as we look at new locations and as we look at all of our locations, we get really involved in our community. So what we do is we walk the neighborhood. And as you can see from what we have done walking the neighborhood is we tell them about our project. We reach out into the local community so they understand what's going on in our stores. And that's what we did in this case. We walk our neighborhoods as we did on our last store and as we will continue to do. So our community is well informed about our locations. This location, we did seek really hard to find a beer and wine license, and we found a beer and wine license and we put it into escrow. We are very cognizant about the fact of licenses in the neighborhood, so securing it within the city and per your ordinance is what we did. And also we will be having, majority of our store will be food and convenience items for healthy living and healthy choices. So we're here to answer any questions that you might have and or concerns. We thank you.
Thank you.
We do concur with staff's conditions of compliance.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on this item? Seeing no interest, I now close public communication. Any questions from commissioners to staff? I'll accept the motion. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 3-0. For PC 18-08. I want to thank you guys, residents, for coming out to speak on behalf of the community. Thank you for stopping by. They will be submitting plans, I'm assuming, for this particular building, so they might want you guys to come out here and support in that particular plan. So hope to see you guys again when that comes around. Thank you, guys. Staff, next item.
Honorable Chair, Commissioners, and members of the audience, the request before you is a request for consideration of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of automobile sales and rentals within the IC Industrial Commercial Zone pursuant to Table 153.050.020 of the City's Municipal Code, location 13409 Garvey Avenue, Unit 2, applicant, excuse me if I pronounce this incorrectly, but Sinwan Sen. Case number CP 861. So the applicant is proposing to establish an automobile sales and rentals business. The property is located at 1349 Garvey Avenue, Unit 2 on the north side of Garvey Avenue and west of the intersection of Garvey Avenue and Baldwin Park Boulevard. The site is rectangular in shape and contains approximately 54,865 square feet, 1.26 acres of lot area, is improved with one building with 7 units of approximately 24,063 square feet. Unit 2 itself is 2,685.35 square feet. So the site accommodates 49 stalls, including 3 handicap stalls and 8 loading spaces. Unit 2 is allowed 4 stalls and the ability to park cars for sale or rent within their unit. The proposed use is compatible with surrounding operations to the north, south, east, and west. However, there are properties to the west which are single-family residents but are buffered by the building itself. The auto sales and rentals in Unit 2 has the rear of the building is closest to the residences. Therefore, planning staff has added conditions of approval to ensure that activities will not have an adverse impact on those properties. Condition E restricts the business to specific hours of operation that are in compliance with the municipal code section referencing those hours of operations. So this business will operate 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Condition B states that the applicant is required to conduct automobile sales and rentals within the enclosed building at all times. Condition C prohibits the applicant from storing automobiles within the parking lot or driveway areas of the property during business hours and overnight. Staff has reviewed the application and operational characteristics and has determined that with the added conditions of approval, the proposed business will not have an adverse impact to the adjacent properties. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 1810 entitled A Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit to allow the operation of an automobile sales and rentals business within the IC Industrial Commercial Zone pursuant Table 153.050.020 in the city's municipal code, location 1349 Garvey Avenue, Unit 2, applicant Jinwon Sen, case number CP861. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, staff. Any questions from the commissioners to staff? I have one particular question. It being that it's going to be auto sales, and just by hearing they won't be allowed to use the outside parking for that particular.
Yeah, because the applicant got information from their landlord stating that they only have 4 parking spaces in the overall area. And I know it's a little difficult to see on here, but the site plan really doesn't show much availability of actual parking on site. They do have a fairly large building itself that can fit cars, and I know the last time I was here and presented, Unit 5 was doing something similar where they were repairing plus selling. So it's not going to be a large business like you would think.
Okay.
What would normally happen with sales, it'll be much smaller. So.
Okay. Just curious. Thank you. Commissioners? No questions? Okay, I'll open up public communication for anyone wishing to speak on this particular item. Please step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and state your concern, please. Seeing no interest, I now close public communications. And back to commissioners. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second it. Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 3-0 for PC 18-10. Is the applicant here for that one?
No. Well, no. We're moving on.
Okay. Next item.
Yes, Honorable Chair, Commissioners, members of the audience, the request before you is a request for consideration of a conditional use permit for the on-site sales of general alcohol, a Type 47 on-sale general, in conjunction with an existing restaurant located within the FCSV Freeway Commercial Sierra Vista Overlay Zone, pursuant to Table 153.050.020 in the city's municipal code. The location is 13916 Garvey Avenue, Suite 104. The applicant is Kim Oganessian, representing Chipotle Mexican Grill Incorporated. Case number CP865. The existing Chipotle restaurant, which is now full in operation, is located within the southernmost unit of the inline pad building at the LA Fitness Commercial Center. Three other restaurants are also located adjacent and occupy the remaining units. and are also in operation. The site is surrounded by other commercial sites, as well as a non-conforming residential property to the north. This is the unit itself for the Chipotle. So as I mentioned, it's on the south side, closest to the freeway. Again, this is on the east side of the entire center. The Chipotle restaurant is a fast casual format eating establishment occupying in this particular unit 2,000 square feet and providing both indoor and outdoor seating. Alcohol service is typical for most Chipotle restaurant concepts, and as a result, the applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit for Type 47 on sale general. This particular type of license allows and provides coverage for the sale of all forms of alcoholic beverages for consumption on site. However, the applicant has expressed that although their request is for Type 47 as part of the CUP, they will first start serving only beer and wine. They're requesting the CUP for Type 47 so that in the future, if they choose to upgrade with ABC, Alcohol Beverage Control, the entitlement with the city would already be in place. The City Council's administrative policy, which you've been hearing often this evening, number 028, encourages restaurants with alcohol service, and is in this case, there is no other on-sale type license within the subject census tract. This will be the first. While the allowance for that census tract is a total of 4. Staff has reviewed the application and operational characteristics and has determined that with the added conditions of approval, the business and patrons will benefit from alcohol service at this establishment. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PC 18-11 entitled Conditional Use Permit. Resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of fact and approving a conditional use permit for on-site sales of general alcohol Type 47 ABC license in conjunction with an existing restaurant pursuant to Table 153.050.020 in the city's municipal code. The location is 13916 Garvey Avenue, Suite number 104. The applicant, Kim Oganessian, representing Chipotle Mexican Grill Incorporated, case number CP 865. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, staff. Any questions from commissioners to staff? No. I'll now open public communications. For anyone wishing to speak on this particular item, please step forward, state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Valerie Sachs. I'm with liquorlicense.com, and I'm here on behalf of Chipotle Mexican Grill. Our office's address is 2222 Damon Street, Los Angeles, California. So I don't really have a lot to add to staff's report. We fully support the staff report. Obviously, we've reviewed the proposed conditions with the corporate office, and they are good with it. So I mostly wanted to make myself available to answer any questions. Just a couple kind of general comments. Yeah, I do appreciate staff noting that this is an under-concentrated area, and there is a demand for these kinds of items, and I just think that to have it at a very well-established, very responsible, very experienced operator such as Chipotle, which also has these as a very small percentage of their gross receipts, would be beneficial to the community. Also wanted to emphasize that they promote from within. So this is the reason this relates to the alcohol request is that their employees they learn these the practices and the way in which alcohol is dealt with from the inside out. So by the time that they become a team leader or a manager, they've been working with them for an extended period of time. It also means that they tend to attract employees who, for the most part, are cognizant of the fact that there is actually a legitimate career path, unlike a lot of other restaurants that are in the same category. And so overall, it tends to attract kind of a higher caliber of employees. So in any case, they have very strict policies. They've got a lot of staff training, and they have basically zero problems with the ABC at any of their locations. We would really appreciate approval of the CUP, and thank you so much for your support.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sachs.
Ma'am, before you leave the podium, would you spell your last name for the records, please?
Sure. S as in Sam, A-C-K-S.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this particular item? Seeing no interest, I now close public communication. County Commissioners, can I get a motion?
A motion, motion to approve case number CP 865.
1811?
Sorry.
1811.
What?
That's
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
second
PC
it.
1811, sorry. I'm reading.
And that's a second from Edith.
Edith, yes.
Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes 3-0 for resolution PC 18-11. Oh, the case number. Staff?
Yeah, the next item is just a standard Planning Division monthly report for March 2018. It's a little far back, but we're going to try to catch up there on the monthly reports.
I do have a one question on the report, and something that I noticed on my way home the other day, that on the lot, I guess like catty corner from In-N-Out, there's some sort of building being built, and I saw on the report that it's some sort of shopping center, but
Caddy corner from the In-N-Out restaurant south of the freeway.
correct.
That vacant lot with 3 streets surrounding it.
Right.
That's a 3-tenant commercial building. One of the tenants is, we anticipate to be Dunkin' Donuts.
What else? What else do we have? Anything else? Anything else from staff? No?
Nothing else.
I did want to state that I'm sad to hear Amy Harbin's no longer with us. She will be missed. And now I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. Any objections? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Good job. Easy, huh? Yeah. The hang of it.